Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to Non-Fictional Prose with the fifth lecture of this course. We are going to continue our study of reading strategies. Today we are going to be introduced to metaphors, and we will also apply a previous strategy, which is figuring out the meaning of words from context. We have been introduced greatly and extensively to this strategy before, and I think it's very important strategy. This is why we stress on it in every lecture. What do we mean by metaphors? Metaphors is when you give a word to express a meaning that's not real, but you want just to give it that special meaning. For example, we have here, you slept like a baby. When you say you slept like a baby, I don't mean that you are a baby, but means your sleeping was very relaxed, very profound. You slept, you did not feel about anything around you, so it looks like that you were like a baby. This is a metaphor, and in Arabic we have it greatly in our Arabic literature, which is called al-majaz. For example, when you shout, you say you are barking like a dog. Barking is for dogs when they make sounds or when they make noises. So I resemble shouting with barking. So it is the resemblance of two actions, but we don't mean the real thing. So this is metaphors, and we are going to have some examples of it. Let's go back to our book, page 40. Page 40, we have a very little passage, and I like these passages. Why? Because they are very concise. They test your comprehension briefly and in a short time. It's about the Olympics. If you read the passage, the Olympic Games are based on an ancient ritual started in Greece sometime in the 9th century BCE, before Common Era, referring to the year 1. The modern Olympic Games began again in 1896, and except for one cancellation during World War II, have continued every 4 years until the present time. Winter Olympics are 2 years behind Summer Olympics, and also repeat in a 4-year cycle. From all over the world, the best athletes come to compete to establish the champion of champions. Everyone seems to have a wonderful time, yet the Olympics are not without controversy. We have here some questions. In what country did the Olympic Games begin? Well, it's here, Greece. We know Greece, the country. How long have the modern Olympic Games been going on, and how often are they held? Well, it's been since year 1 here, and then it began in 1896, stopped at World War II, and then it was repeated every 4 years. Number 3, why do you think many countries want to host these games? Well, it is just to connect people, to connect champions from different countries. It's a sport, it's social, it's beneficial in terms of economy, in terms of social relationships, political relationships, and etc. Should professional paid athletes be allowed to compete, or should the games be limited to amateurs? Well, it depends on your opinion. Should both play in this Olympic Games. This is just a starter for you to prepare you for something more advanced. We are going to study about outward bound. We are going to infer the meaning of some words. So let's start with number 1. Kim Sang-soo is CEO of LG Electronics Incorporation. So CEO is called an acronym. An acronym is taking the first letter of a long phrase. So every letter in CEO stands for something. For example, here CEO means the Chief Executive Officer. So C stands for the chief, and E stands for executive, and O stands for officer. This is an acronym. When we say, for example, KFU, it means King Faisal University, taking the first letter from each word to make a shorter word. This is acronyms. Number 2, the managers seem happy that Kim has spent the day lecturing and rallying them. Rallying means organizing and encouraging. Number 3, Kim Yong-ki is a VP of LG Electronics. VP is also can be considered as an acronym, but does it mean very important person or vice president? Well, it's D, vice president. B, very important person, would be VIP, but VP is vice president. LG's revenues jumped 18% last year. Revenues, it means earnings after expenses and taxes are deducted. Number 5, we have the word LG's revenues jumped 18% last year to 17 billion, and net profits rose 33% to 556 million. Net profits, it's the earnings before expenses and taxes are deducted. Number 6, Kim wants to lift LG up to the level of the biggest companies that have global brands. Global brands, when you have, for example, brands for clothes, brands for bags, brands for pens, brands for glasses. So I think you know the meaning of global brands. It means names and symbols known around the world. We have a lot of global brands like LG, like Toshiba, like Dell. In terms of clothes, I think you know better than me. We have Gucci, we have LV. In cars, we have, for example, BMW, we have Toyota, we have Lexus. So these are called global brands. 7, the advanced Korean market provides a testing ground for new technologies. Testing grounds means a place to try out the latest products. The answer is D. Number 8, we have the word factories, and I think it is a very simple word, which means a place to manufacture things, or where products are stored. So it is B, places where products are stored. Oh, sorry, it is A, manufacturing plants where products are built. This is factories. So A is the correct answers. Now let's go to a very good strategy here, which is scanning. Scanning is not reading. You just go to the passage, and by your eyes you scan very quickly for some details, for example, for numbers, for figures, and for example sometimes proper names. So it's not reading, but it's rather just looking for a piece of information. So today we have scanning for numbers. I'll leave you do it, because I'm not going to scan for you. This is a skill that I want you to be trained at, to be trained on. So I'll leave you with this. It's fun, it's interesting. Read the sentence and then go to the passage on page 43. Here is the passage. You say, for example, Kim Sang-so is years old. This is number 1 here. Kim Sang-so is blank years old. So we are looking for what? For age. Yes. So we directly go to the passage and we look for the word years old, number, and then years old very quickly. Yes. Here 35 years ago. No, we don't want this. 59. Yes, here is the number that we want. He is 59. How did we know? Because it says the tireless Kim 59, so his age is 59. And then you go to number 2. He began his career years ago. We have it here. He began his career 35 years ago. So very quickly try to time your action. Have a watch, have a timer, and see every one of these items. Try to time how long did it take you to reach the answer, and see which one you were faster than the previous one. So I'm going to leave you with this exercise. You do it yourself. I want you to be a very good scanners, not scanners, the devices that are attached to the computers. This is a metaphor. I want you to be very good scanners. So this is about scanning the passage. We have here also another exercise for you, selecting the main idea. I'm not going to answer this question for you. I want the answer from you in the Blackboard forums in منتدى الحوار. Read the question here, and I want you to answer this question in منتدى الحوار, and we will have a discussion about it inshallah in منتدى الحوار. Now let's have this understanding metaphors. As we said, metaphor is an implied, suggested comparison made by using a word or phrase associated with one thing to describe something completely different. And we are going to have an exercise here. Number 1, the common usage of barks is used with dogs, like this example. The dog barks as people pass the yard. So dogs usually barks. They produce this noisy sound when someone passes by them. But sometimes we can say, great people, great company, he barks. And you can find this in line 8 in the passage. So the metaphor is the way Kim shouts is being compared to the barking of a dog. So when he shouted, great people, great company, it was like he was barking like a dog. Jazakumullah. So let's have more examples, and the idea of metaphors will be reinforced in your mind. We have the word here jumped. The horse jumped over the fence. This is the common usage of jump. We have a horse and they jump the fence. This is jumping. Or you sometimes you jump the table, you jump the wall, you jump the chair, you jump the fence. This is jumping. But in line 23, let's go to line 23 here. Here revenues jumped 18%. So revenues, we said, the means money. Does money jump? No, it's a metaphor. It means increased. The number of profits or revenues increased 18%. So we would say here the metaphor is the way the revenues increased is being compared to the jumping of horses or the jumping of people. Number 3, he scored the winning goal. Yes, we hear this a lot in football or in volleyball or in basketball. The players or a player scored the winning goal. But sometimes in line 34 we have a different usage. Let's go to line 34. It's 30, 31, 32, 33 and 34 here. Yes. Where is the start of the sentence? Let's read it from the beginning. Yes, its biggest rival at home and abroad, Samsung Electronics, whose revenues of 36.4 billion are 2 times as large as LG's, has already hit in the US and scored big successes. So when you score big successes, does not mean that you are scoring a goal. No. So the word scored here means you achieve success, you reach success. So we would say here the metaphor is the way the company reached or achieved success is compared to scoring a goal. If you score a goal, it's like achieving your goal. We have here number 5, common usage of sliced. The boy sliced some cheese for his sandwich. If you slice something, you take just one piece. You have a knife and cut something into parts. You cut it into pieces. You cut it into slice. And we have sometimes the sliced cheese. It means just one piece. It's like a flat piece called a slice. But in line 53 here, line 53, here is 50, 51, 52, 53. Kim sliced costs by moving production of low-end products to China. So if you slice the costs, it means you cut it off. Does not mean that you have a knife and you go to the cost and you slice it. No, slice the cost means you cut it off. You lower the costs. This is the meaning of slice. Not having the full of it. You just cut a slice of it. So the answer here would be the way Kim lowered the cost is compared to slicing cheese. Number 6. It was storming outside. We stayed in the house listening to the thunder and rain. So if you have a storm, it means there are a lot of winds outside, a lot of rain outside. This is the common usage of the word storm, but sometimes we can use it metaphorically. The metaphorical usage of it on page 45, line 59 here. Kim is infusing LG other businesses with the same vigor. Called a commander in the field by executives, he storms about LG factories and offices, poring over details. So if he storms, it means he gets excited or angry or so excited like a storm. So this is the meaning of the word here. So these are metaphors. Sometimes help us to understand the real meaning in the passage. If you take them as they are, they might confuse you. Why? Because you know that they mean something else, but if they are used metaphorically, it means something different, and we should be careful when we meet metaphors like these and reading passages. Last exercises here on page 47, using compound adjectives. We have 6 items and 6 choices here, and again we want to link or match the 2 compound adjectives with the noun we have here. So again, this is not a good exercise. We should have more choices here just to distract you, just to test your real knowledge. Let's do number 1. When we say a flat screen, it would be what? Or flat screen TVs. So the correct answer here is C. You would say high speed access. This is a high speed access. You would say knee deep in rice paddies. You would say low cost Chinese companies. You would say low end products. You would say snow covered mountain side. So these adjectives go with these nouns. What's significant about them? You should learn these phrases. These longer phrases help you to become good speakers and good writers. If you say flat screens TV, it's better than just saying TVs. If you say high speed access, it's better than just saying access. So if you add these adjectives to these nouns and you use them in your speech or in your writing, it would be very good. So what we learned in this lecture, we were introduced to metaphors, and we have some examples about metaphors. We figured out the meaning of some words from context, and we used some compound adjectives with nouns. All of these, if we learn them, if we memorize them, we increase our vocabulary, we become good readers, we become good speakers, we become good writers. So you see, they are very, very important. We finished by this chapter 2. Hopefully we will start chapter 3 inshallah in the next lecture. Thank you for listening, and all the best.